Something in your schedule is about to feel too small for what you are actually carrying today, Scorpio. A friend reaches out with an invitation that sounds simple enough. Yet underneath that invitation is a quiet test about limits you have been avoiding naming out loud. At the same time, there is a bigger story running in the background of your year, one that involves your reputation, your ambition, and a kind of visibility you have not experienced in over a decade. Both are happening at once today. And the way you handle the small moment may reveal exactly how ready you are for the larger one, the bigger picture. Let us start with the story underneath everything else moving in your chart right now. From the Western tropical perspective, Leo has been forming rare planetary patterns not seen in 12 and 18 years, and Leo governs your 10th house, the house of career, reputation, and public standing. That is not a small transit passing through. That is a structural shift in how visible and how respected you are becoming, whether you have consciously noticed it yet or not. Think of it like a mountain you have been climbing for years in fog, and the fog is finally lifting enough to see how high you have actually gotten. While that bigger ambition story unfolds slowly over months, today's chart is doing something more immediate and more personal. The moon sits in Leo according to Vedic tradition, which many Vedic astrologers read as an invitation to slow down and return attention to home and family after a stretch of being consumed by outward achievement. But Western tropical astrology places the moon in Virgo today, moving through your 11th house of friendships, community, and shared goals. Here is where it gets interesting. That Virgo moon is forming a quincunx to Saturn, sitting in your 6th house of work and daily wellness. Quincunx is an uncomfortable angle. It does not destroy anything, but it creates friction, like two gears that almost mesh, but need adjusting first. So while the Vedic lens sees today as a homecoming, the Western lens sees today as a negotiation between your social commitments and your actual capacity to deliver on them. Both are describing the same underlying tension from different angles. Your people want your time. Your body and your work both have limits. Tay asks you to figure out where those two truths meet without abandoning either one. Love. Here is where that tension becomes deeply personal. If you are partnered, you may notice a version of this same push and pull showing up in your relationship. Maybe your partner has been asking for more presence, more time, more of the you that existed before ambition took over your calendar. That 11th house energy, the one lighting up friendship and community, does not stop at friendships. It bleeds into how you show up for the people closest to you. You may have noticed a subtle gap lately between what you say you value and where your actual hours go. That gap is the unanswered question sitting quietly in this section, and it deserves an honest look rather than a guilty deflection. If you are single, this same energy shows up differently. Networking and social connection are genuinely favored today, and the people you meet through community or shared interest could carry real romantic potential. But there is a catch worth naming. The Saturn friction suggests you should not chase every spark of attention just because it feels flattering after a stretch of feeling overlooked. What looks like an exciting new connection may actually be asking you to slow down and evaluate whether it fits into a life you are already stretched thin trying to maintain. The resolution here is not complicated, but it is uncomfortable. Say the honest version of what you can offer, whether that is to a partner or a new interest. Couples benefit from directly naming a desire to bring back more passion rather than hoping the other person notices the distance on their own. That honesty is what turns Saturn's friction into intimacy instead of resentment. Career. Now bring that same honesty into your work life, because this is where the bigger picture from earlier starts to matter practically. Remember that mountaintop visibility building in your career house? Tay's Virgo moon energy in your 11th house suggests you are being pulled toward collaborative opportunities, group projects, maybe even the early stages of something you would call a movement. You may feel a genuine urge to challenge the way things are usually done at work. Here is the part most people rush past. Pushing boundaries at work only succeeds if you do not alienate the people you need on your side. The same Saturn friction touching your love life is touching this too. You can bend the rules today. You can advocate for a bolder approach. But breaking trust with collaborators to prove a point costs more than it earns, especially with your career visibility rising in the background. Networking conversations happening now, even casual ones, could open doors connected to that larger, Leo-driven ambition story. Treat every interaction this week as if it matters, because right now, it probably does. Money. That same disciplined instinct needs to extend to your spending. The chart today favors financial opportunity arriving through your network rather than through solo hustle, but opportunity without discipline tends to evaporate. If a friend's invitation or a networking event today comes with an expensive price tag attached, that is the moment to apply the same boundary-setting instinct you are using with your time. Here is a reframe worth sitting with. Saying no to an unnecessary expense today is not about restriction. It is about protecting the resources you will need when that bigger career visibility starts asking more of you. The people who climb mountains pack carefully before they start. This is packing season. Health. Underneath all of this is a simple truth your body already knows, even if your calendar has not caught up yet. Enthusiasm has been writing checks your energy has to cash, and today the bill may come due. The Saturn friction sitting in your 6th house of wellness is the clearest signal in this entire chart. Your time and your energy are finite, no matter how many invitations arrive or how exciting the momentum around your career feels. This is the moment worth pausing on, because it reframes everything else in this reading. What feels like disappointing a friend by setting a limit today may actually be the only way you protect the stamina you need for the bigger opportunities building around you. That is not avoidance. That is preparation disguised as a small, slightly uncomfortable no. Practically, this means offering the version of social connection you can actually sustain. Meet near work instead of across town. Stay for one drink instead of the whole evening. Reschedule without drowning in guilt about it. On the wellness side, adding more nourishing vegetables to your meals is a small, safe adjustment that supports the steadier energy this stretch demands. If Saturn-related themes feel personally significant to you right now, some Vedic practitioners work with Saturn remedies, such as specific mantras for individuals whose birth charts support them, though this is never universal advice, since real gemstone or remedy work in Vedic astrology requires personal chart analysis rather than a blanket recommendation for an entire sign. Home and family. This is exactly where the Vedic reading from earlier finds its footing. Remember that quieter reading, the one suggesting the moon in Leo, invites you home after a hectic stretch of neglecting family for work. That is not a contradiction to the Saturn boundary lesson. It is the same lesson wearing a softer face. You may have realized lately how much you have missed by pouring energy outward, while the people at home waited quietly. Today carries real potential for that to shift, even briefly. Spending focused time with family, rather than distracted or half-present time, tends to feel disproportionately rewarding right now. Your folks may light up more than you expect from something that costs you very little. That is the gift hiding inside today's slower moments, the ones you might otherwise rush past, chasing the next networking opportunity. Travel and spirit. There is also a pull towards something farther away, something like a trip to London or another meaningful destination, showing up as genuinely inspiring right now, rather than just a distraction. If travel is on your mind, this is a favorable window to explore that pull rather than dismiss it as impractical. But the deeper spiritual thread here connects back to that mountain metaphor from the beginning. Real growth right now is not only about climbing higher in visible, external ways. It is about learning when to plant your feet and rest on a ledge before continuing upward. A traveler who never stops to catch their breath eventually stops climbing altogether. Whether that ledge is a quiet evening at home, a boundary with a friend, or a moment of stillness before responding to an invitation, That pause is part of the ascent, not a detour from it. Lucky signs. If you are looking for small daily anchors today, warm gold tones connect well with the Leo energy currently amplifying your visibility, while deeper earth tones support the grounding Virgo and Saturn influence asking for balance. Early evening tends to favor meaningful conversation, whether with family or a potential connection. Fellow fixed and earth signs may offer especially steady energy for collaboration or reassurance right now. Today's guidance. So here is where all of this comes together. The mountain you are climbing in your career is real, and the visibility building around you is worth continuing to pursue with genuine focus. But today is not asking you to sprint. It is asking you to check in with what you can actually sustain, whether that is a friend's invitation, a work commitment, or the quiet needs of the people waiting for you at home. Say yes to what fits. Offer an honest, smaller version of yourself when the full version is not available. Protect your evenings the way you would protect any resource you know you will need later. The climb is not going anywhere, but how you pace yourself today may determine how steady you feel when you reach the next part of it.